Hey guys, Crystal here from Elite Hair Care USA. So my client got some highlights. She's also natural and we are going to do a bob cut. To start, you guys know I like to work smarter and not harder, and this is a easy way to create your guide and get through the preliminary bob portion or bob cutting. I said bob portion. Bob bob cut. Lord. Now, if you guys notice, I put her hair behind her ear. A lot of people ask me, why do I do this? That is a easy way to create an asymmetrical line that actually is kind of, it blends very well with the actual cut in the back. So that is a way that you are able to get a quick asymmetrical bob without trying to eyeball and hope that this side matches the other side, and literally just follow your guide. So you're going to see me do it again, where you are basically pushing the hair in a smooth pattern. So you want it to be smooth right behind the ear, and then you will bevel your comb starting from your guide, and that will give you your symmetry. This is one of those kind of pro tips that I learned a couple years ago, but it really works, so definitely try it out. So now we're doing the layering and blending in her cut. Most people would want to leave her hair blunt, but she did not want a blunt bob. She wanted a layered bob. So what I'm doing is I'm going with the shape of the head, which whenever you're doing any type of cut, you always want to follow the shape of the head. Remember, the head is not a box. It is shaped like an orange. So you're going to cut it just as you would if you were actually slicing an orange. So you'll see me go around her head, and I always start right at the middle, or that point right near her crown or in her crown, and I'll work my way around. Don't do the boxy cutting, because boxy cutting is going to create hard lines, and you're going to actually be able to see her layers when her hair is bone straight. You don't want to be able to see the layers. You want it to transition really smoothly. I'm using a cutting comb. It's not really like any type of special cutting comb, but cutting combs, the difference is, if you notice, the teeth are a lot wider on one side and smaller or thinner on the other side. That is typically a cutting comb, and a cutting comb also typically has a parting tooth on the end that will make it easy for you to get through the partings for your haircut. This is also another reason why I tell people, do not cut hair when it's in its curly state, because you need to be able to see everything, including if you have any lines, including if something is too short, if something's too long, maybe you missed a piece. But when you're doing it with curly hair or textured hair, you can't see that all the time, and that also creates uneven lines, and that's not what we want. So she is 100% natural, as I said before, but we are definitely using a silk press before we do anything else, and then we go forward with her styling. So I've completed the actual layering portion of her hair. So if you remember, when we first started, there was a blunt blonde line. There's no longer a blunt blonde line, so we did some longer layers. And now her bob cut is actually complete. A haircut for me typically is no more than about 10 to 15 minutes, the max, sometimes less than that. I don't believe in overcutting. I'm a big believer in, once you cut it, check it. If it looks good, let it stay. And then if you see yourself going back to check and you notice that you missed a piece, then definitely take care of that piece. But don't go back through the entire cut, because what's going to end up happening is you're going to cut a piece too short too soon. So I'm spraying a little bit of Sebastion Shaper Plus on her hair. I did switch my comb over, because at this point I do need a rat tail comb. So I'm going to start at the nape of the neck. I don't do a lot of tight curling when it comes on to bobs, because my clients want them to flow and have movement. So I usually do larger partings, because she's already silked out, so I don't have to do much when it comes on to the silking part. This is all styling. So the flat iron that I'm going to be using is the Elite Mac 1-inch styler iron. That is my particular iron for my line. I'm really excited. It is a 1-inch ceramic infrared flat iron. It goes up to 230 degrees Celsius / 450 Fahrenheit. And I'm doing it in large partings for her, because like I said, she wants movement. So I don't need to do any small partings. But it's your choice how you decide to style your bob. This is just my preference. So you'll notice that the partings will start changing. You'll notice sometimes they are diagonal. You'll notice sometimes that they are vertical. It's just kind of different when you're creating movement, and you do it the way that you see fit. But for me, I always start with a big base, form my base, which is typically the nape of the neck, sometimes over the ear as well. And then I start with larger partings. Once I get to the larger partings, I might give it more than one pass, sometimes between 1 and 3 passes with the iron, because I did do a larger parting. If I did a smaller parting, I would probably still do 1 to 2 passes. But with the larger parting, it protects the hair a little bit more. Plus, she does already have heat protectant in her hair from the shampoo phase and the leave-in conditioner phase. And then she also got highlights today, guys. So we did highlights in her crown. That is where that beautiful blonde or a honey blonde color has come from. And we use that to help mask some of her gray, because she does have salt and pepper hair. And she doesn't want to necessarily cover it up. So we just use the salt and pepper to create a highlight effect. And then we added more highlights to give her some more blending and, of course, some more emphasis to her beautiful hair. So at this point, you're going to just continue on with your styling. If you don't have the Elite MAC 1-inch styler, definitely grab you one. Use code YouTube when you are checking out, and you'll definitely save 15%. These are my products on my site, so you definitely will be in good hands. Oh, the shampoo and conditioner that we used on her during the service is our Elite Hair Repair and Growth Shampoo and Conditioner. That is also available by going to elitehaircareusa.com. So for her front, I don't do a lot of curling in the front because let's be honest, the front of the hair is always a lot more sparse than the back. Not saying that it's damaged, but it's a lot thinner. Why? Because that's just how God created us. So I only parted in about 2 partings because I don't want much layering towards the front of her face. On the side that is considered to be the smaller or less dense side. Now, when it comes on to the larger side, because she has a side part, that's what I mean, larger side and smaller side. That side, I do put a little more emphasis when it comes on to the feathering and layering, that kind of thing. Now, at the time of me making this video, you're going to see towards the end that I have to go back and cut her again. Or did I film that part? I can't remember. But if you don't, or if I didn't, at the end, where you see in the front of her face where her layering is a little bit longer, I actually went back and put some emphasis towards her face using the shears. And this is something that is very common. Sometimes you don't see your style until you get to the end and you say, I don't like that. Or that doesn't really accentuate her face. So let me go and fix that. And that is what I ended up doing, where I just put a little more layering right in the front of her face where her bangs are, just to give her a little more emphasis towards her face. And listen, when people see me get close to their ear, they cringe. It's like traumatic. But don't worry, guys. No ears were burned in the making of this video. So we're starting now towards the front of her hair. This is how I create the feathering effect, by curling the hair going back and laying it on the back of her head until it is time for styling with the comb. What this does is it places the hair in a formation for feathering. And I just kind of made that up. You're welcome. So we're doing formation for feathering. I cracked myself up, guys. Anyhow, we're going to finish off with this last section towards her face. I'm going to part that into 2. And we're going to do the same formation of feathering technique that I just made up while I was recording for this video. Don't be mad. It's okay. And once we do the last piece, it will be time for her styling. And styling for this bob is fairly simple. So I use my rake comb and not my rat tail wide tooth comb. Why? Because the rat tail wide tooth comb will remove some of the volume, and I would like to keep some volume. So the rake is the better tool for this. Yeah, look at that. And that hair has so much shine. Oh my gosh. And towards the end, I did spray a little bit of hair polish on her, which is a oil-free gloss for the hair. and you see those layers just pop out. But guess what? If she didn't want layers, or she didn't want the layers to be popping, she could comb it straight down and that hair would still blend. That is the reason why I always blend my bobs, because you never know how the client wants to wear their hair that day. Maybe they want a blunt cut looking bob, or maybe the next day they want a lot of emphasis in layers. Give them the ability to make that choice. That is what a versatile haircut is for. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Body. I love it. And the highlights just accentuate the entire haircut. So this worked out really, really well. Yeah, guys. So don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Ensure to hit the thumbs up button. Share this video. And if this is the style that you want, definitely thumbs it up.